everyone, and welcome back to another video. My name is Amberly and I'm an artist based in Atlanta. So today is December 28th, so we're just a few days away from the end of the year. And I thought it would be nice to do a 2022 recap video to kind of look back on this year and my art practice and everything that's kind of happened. And I know I've only got like 10 subscribers, but I thought it would be fun still to create this video just to go over everything that's kind of happened in my art practice this year, and then as something that I can look back on maybe this time next year as my YouTube channel hopefully continues to grow and I just make more videos. So while I'm doing that, I am going to be unshelling, or I guess demolding, these little rubber pots. So I just started making these a few days ago. I think maybe it was like Christmas or something. But I work with a lot of rubber and it kind of walks the line of 2D to 3D. But I really want to push the 3D and more sculptural elements in the next year. So I'm making these and I really love them and they're so much fun. Here, let me bring it a little closer. It's just a candle that I used as like a vessel or a mold to work around. But there's this one that I'll be doing. This lavender one, it looks a lot darker in camera, but it's lavender. This is one of the first ones that I did. The yellow dots. I really like the yellow dots in this one. And then a little pink one too. 2022 was the year that I received the most rejections. So I looked back on some of my emails and I counted 18 rejections. And honestly, it was probably a little bit more than that. It was probably closer to like 20, like low 20s that I got rejections from. But it really started, I guess, in late 21. So if there's a call for art, typically it's maybe between like 2 to 3 months, sometimes more than that, in advance. So for my 2022 year, the rejections started coming in, I guess like 21, late, like December 2021. But I think what really changed was that I decided to just apply to things. So I really wanted to have as many people see my work as possible. So whenever I saw an application, I would look over and decide if my work would fit or if I was qualified and that kind of stuff. But I really didn't want to think about it too much and talk myself out of it. So once I saw the application, I would put everything together really nicely and, you know, write out my statement and things like that. But I tried not to think about it. So once I hit submit and applied, I pretty much just let it go and kind of forgot about it. So that way it wouldn't like stay in the back of my mind and I wouldn't count on it so much. And I think that really did help. Oh no, I lost a little dot. That's okay. So I have a art school studio in Atlanta that I teach out of. So we teach classes for kids 2 through pretty much adults. And that's my full-time job. But this year I decided that I wanted to focus more on my personal art practice. Okay, here it comes. Ooh, see? This one came out so good. I love it. A little pink dot fell off, but I can put that back. So the studio is pretty much my full-time job, but this year I decided to really put more energy and more time into my personal practice, since that is something that I want to grow more. I was only able to do that because my studio has grown so much over the past few years and it's been doing so well. So I was able to, you know, kind of have that going steady and then focus more time onto my personal practice. So I'm so grateful for that because we're going to be celebrating our 4th birthday in January. But anyway, all that is just to say that now I was able to finally put in the time to focus on my own practice because I have another way to support myself and to create the work that I want to create. But yes, so I got 18 rejections this year. all for calls for art, for shows and grants and all that kind of stuff. But despite getting all of those rejections, I also had a lot of wins too that I'm super proud of, and I guess they were my biggest accomplishments so far, like throughout my whole art career. But to start off, in January, I had my first solo show at Empire Arts Gallery in Atlanta, and I'll try to put like a little clip of the gallery view, but I was so happy about that. So that also started technically in 2021, because I started planning for my show and talking with the gallery, maybe it was like September, maybe it was earlier, I think it was the summer, because I visited the gallery for a show that they were having in the summer. So it started pretty early on, and it kind of built up to my solo show in January. So I started off with that. In a few months after that, I had my work published in a magazine. So the magazine was All She Makes, and this one was actually kind of the product, I guess, of me deciding, hey, I'm just gonna apply for it and see what happens. But I remember seeing the call for submissions for All She Makes for their 4th issue. I think that's what I'm part of. Hold on, let me see, I have the magazine. Okay, here it is. Isn't it beautiful? This is it. But I saw the call for submissions for this. I think it was like late fall of 21, and it was just like, I really want to have my work published. So I just applied, and I didn't think about it. I didn't let myself talk myself out of it. But this had been a goal of mine for like 5 years. So every year on my New Year's resolution, here we are. Every year on my New Year's resolution, I would write down, have my work published, and it never happened until this year. So here's my spread. There is a little bio and then my statement and then some images of my work. And I did kind of mess up because when I applied, I was like, I don't even know if I'm gonna get in. So I didn't put any pictures of myself or like me in my studio working. So future me, I would say apply as if you're gonna get in and have that hope. So that way, when it comes along, you'll be really happy with how things turn out. And then it was quiet for like a few months after that. So I just kept on getting more and more rejections. But then I saw on Instagram a call for art for Art Moms United. And I'll kind of link the show below. But the show was called Bringing Color to the World. And if you've seen my work, one thing that I know for sure about it is that it's really colorful. So when I saw the call, I was like, if there's anything that I'll get into, it's gotta be this show. So I applied and I got in, and I was so happy because the curator is Sari Shrike, and I hope I said her name right, but she's known as Not Sorry Art, and I'm sure you've seen some of her work on Instagram. She makes beautiful paintings, and I just really look up to her as an artist, and I really appreciate her work. But I was so happy because she was the curator, so she selected my work. And then I found out that one of my friends also had her work accepted into the show. And it was funny because we didn't even talk about applying. It wasn't even until we got the email that had like the show link and all that kind of stuff that we saw that we were both in the show. And I'll link it below because you can still view it online, and it's a great show. There's a lot of wonderful artists in there. So check it out. This year I started experimenting more with rubber. So I'm starting to do these little like rubber bowls, really fun and squishy. And then I did my keychains as well. And then in this year, I made the most sales that I've made to date. So the sales I made this year were more than I want to say that I made in like the past 5 years or so. So that was really amazing. And I know selling or not selling work does not make you or define you as a successful artist, but that did mean a lot to me, especially as I decided to like pursue my personal practice, not more seriously, but just put more time and energy into it. So that meant a lot. But yes, that was pretty much it. So looking back, you know, if I did not receive all of those rejections and if I did not put myself out there, I really wouldn't have gotten all of these wins. So in the new year, I hope to get even more rejections. So hopefully that's just more opportunities for people to see my work and to put myself out there. But yeah, that's the end of the video. I finished doing all of these pots, so I'll go be making some more now. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope that you got something out of this video, if not just something to put on in the background. But thank you for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing if you'd like to follow along on my art practice and journey in 2023. And I hope you guys have a happy new year. Thank you.